back to the program. You're watching Morning Thailand with Fire and Golf, and of course, I have the event to report, and this is very unfortunate. I guess yesterday was one of the most violent time for the southern people because there are several reports of the southern violence on the same day. Let's start with the first one at about 7:55, so early in the morning in the Yala province of the Sateng Nok sub-district. They say that there has been a report of a drive-by shooting. They say that once they got to the scene, Kun Montri Sang Moli, which is a local police officer of the Krong Prinang station, were actually pretty much collapsed on the wheel of his car. They say that when they got to the scene, the spot on the street is the bypass where he actually was supposed to travel. He was driving from his home to go to the station, to the police station, to actually attend his duty. However, they say that the gunshot from the car has shown that the culprit actually used one of those automatic machine guns. However, they say that once they killed the person or killed this particular man, Kun Montri, they took away his 9mm gun as well as his M16 rifle in the car as well. And they say that this wasn't the first time that this happened to him, unfortunately. There was the attempted murder 5 years ago. However, they failed to actually kill him. And this time they believe that is probably the same culprit that did this. And the police believe that this is part of the Southern insurgents' violence. And the second report is in Pattani province. They say that at noon, there has been a report of the great explosion, as you can see on the picture there, has to create a big crater on the road itself. They say that this particular explosive device is one of those explosion that was around 50 kilograms explosion that created, and they say that this is in the Plong Hoi sub-district. 4 of the police soldiers were actually killed at the scene. What happened was there was a bus that picked up all the soldiers from the one spot to transfer to the other, and they say that all 14 of the soldiers were actually in this particular big van. And they say that once they got to the scene, the culprit detonated the bomb and created instant explosion, and 4 of them killed instantly at the scene. Over 10 people were actually has been injured and 5 severely injured. However, one of them did not make it all the way to the hospital and he succumbed to the wound, so that add to the numbers of the dead people to 5. So 5 officers yesterday were killed due to this particular explosion, and they say that the school nearby, the Ban Makaw school nearby, could actually feel and heard the loud noise as well. And they say that a lot of teachers and students were actually frantically ran for cover. At this point, they believe most definitely that this is one of the Southern insurgencies responsible for this particular bomb. Later on in the day at about 4 o'clock, in Pattani province as well, they say that there has been a report of a drive-by shooting. 2 people, these are the villagers, these 2 were actually husband and wife. They were on the way to the market, and they say that these 2 were shot. Fortunately, they weren't killed, but the husband got shot in the right arms while the wife got shot in the right leg. They were sent to the hospital. Now, another drive-by shooting is also in Pattani province in Yat Rang district, where the 2 people were standing in front of their house talking, and there's 2 shooters sat on a motorcycle, drove past by and shot them at the scene. And very fortunate once again that they did not get killed. So at this point, it seems like Southern violence has happened daily, but yesterday was one of the biggest shock because finally they got like 5 of the soldiers and over 10 of them still, not over 10, about 9 of them still in the hospital. Out of the 14. So at this point, I think the measure is going to have to be a lot more stringent as well. Try to provide safety for our soldiers and such.
And you know what? If you want to do more for soldiers in the South, not just praying for them, there was a way I came across a campaign on the internet saying that you can send a card or a letter to the troops in the down south, especially the Happy New Year card, the New Year card for them. There was an address that you can send not just letters but also the gifts for them, telling them how grateful you are. For the
words
people.
of encouragement or any type of anything to talk to them.
Moral
So
boost.
exactly, so they could get away from the fact that they have to live with violence on a daily basis.
Yes, of course. Now, moving on to other story here, the demonstration as the Prime Minister Kun Yingluck Shinawatra has held a press announcement a few days ago saying that with teary eyes that she had stepped back until her back is against the wall. She doesn't know what to do anymore with the request of the protest co-leader Kun Suthep Theersuban or the co-leader of the PDRC, the People's Democratic Reform Committee. Yesterday, Kun Suthep had launched another statement saying that he had already declared a new government in the form of the self-appointed People's Democratic Reform Committee. And he even ordered the civil servants to answer to the committee as well. Also, he called for a shadow system of volunteers to replace the police and issued an order that Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra and others in the cabinet be prosecuted for insurrection. So those are the demands or the requests that some people think it was beyond the borderline. It's too much for the protest co-leader asking officers to prosecute the acting prime minister because that did not violate the constitution the way that she dissolved the parliament or she denied leaving the acting prime minister post.
Right.
However,
Sorry, and I think that one police officials came out and said that police would not serve the outlaw.
No.
So it was quite a bit of a conflict going on yesterday for sure.
And afterwards in the evening, Kun Suthep issued another statement saying that he wants to have a meeting with the Supreme Commander, the Armed Forces leaders and the National Police Chief as well to make clear the stance and the goals of the masses on national reform. He keeps using the word masses. In Thai is the Mon Maha Prachachon every time that he talk about the protesters.
Right.
And he said that the military and the police will get a chance to ask about the PDRC's position so that they will be able to understand the group's purpose better. And then they can consider which side they want to stand on. That was what Kun Suthep said. However, it seems that on the top brass, the military side, they denied having a meeting with the protesters, saying that Kun Suthep should have a meeting with various organizations or other sectors of the society before to know what stances they are standing on. And there were reports saying also that Kun Suthep also planned to hold similar meetings with the representative from the private, labor and social sectors as well to ask for their opinions and the way to reform the country. However, his move seems to be over the border. As I said yesterday, Kun Chalerm Yu Bamrung, the labor minister, said that he would be going to the Metropolitan Police headquarters, pressuring the authorities if Kun Suthep is not arrested within 48 hours because there were several grounds for the police to prosecute or at least to arrest Kun Suthep on the several charges there. And meanwhile, Kun Phrampong Noparit, Pheu Thai spokesperson, together with Kun Pichit Chirnban, former MP of the Pheu Thai party, has filed a petition to Kun Tharit Phengdit, DSI Director General, asking the DSI to prosecute Kun Suthep Thiosuban on several charges, including Section 112 of the Constitution, Article 112, which is the violation of the monarchy.
Right.
Defaming the monarchy, because Kun Suthep had asked for the appointed prime minister from His Majesty the King. That would be the violation of the way that he tried to intervene and use the power of the monarchy.
Right.
To interfere with politics. Meanwhile, there were reports yesterday as well about the cases that happened at the government complex on Jang Wattana Road and the Finance Ministry. Reports said that some of the belongings there were stolen during the time of the gathering there. They said that over 20 notebook computers
Seriously.
and a lot of tablets and cell phones were gone.
I heard that some of the officers left their cash there, and that was gone as well. Yeah.
They said that all of the notebooks or tablets and cell phones are brand new. They were preparing all this stuff for the people for a special campaign or project of the finance ministry there. However, all of them were gone together with the information contained in the computer, the notebook computer as well. So this is all the reports. However, on the PDRC side, they said that that was the report, the false rumor that tried to discredit the protesters, because all of them affirmed that the protesters were peaceful and they did not destroy or damage any property or belongings of the finance ministry or even at the government complex as well. They were under a very strict order from the core leader of the protesters. So there's no protesters that did all that.
So I guess they think that it's an accusation or rather than what actually happened. And that's one of the things that you're probably going to have to find out, because that doesn't give a good name for the anti-government protesters at all, because they have been quite peaceful, but that was just not part of a peaceful means. All right, so moving on to one of the another movement that just recently came up into the picture. It is the 150 academics that got together, calling themselves the Assembly for the Defense of Democracy. Now, of course, this particular academic assembly has been quite a bit of create quite a bit of a stir, because apparently, according to them, they say that the Assembly for the Defense of Democracy, which is on a fan page, they have a Facebook fan page with this long name on it. They say that overnight they have seen over 100,000 of the likes already. A lot of people are supporting them. So this is one of the things, and this is 151, academics that led by Kun Chanwit Kasset Siri, which is the former rector of the Thammasat University. Now they say that 3 of the key points that are standing for is that the first one is the country should actually stick to democratic system. Second is not to give the power to the middleman. And the third one is that there should definitely be an election to make sure that democracy is still upheld. This is the actual website that they have. The fan page itself. So the Assembly for the Defense of Democracy, or the AFDD.
Yes,
now they say that at this point, Kun Phuong Thong Pawakarapan, which is the professor of the political science at Chulalongkorn University, the only lady there, which is quite interesting. She said that after they have launched this particular assembly, they have seen quite a bit of supports from the society, showing that a lot of people in the society agreed with what they would like to do, meaning that to still stick to democracy and go ahead with the election. And they say that in the next few weeks, there will definitely be a big meeting in terms of trying to boil down to what exactly would be the procedures or the measures for the next move that will be proposed by the movement itself. คุณพวงทอง said that although it will probably be towards academic side, but they still want to make sure that the fact that discriminations or even the inequality in the society will have to be addressed, as well as vote buyings. And they say one of the things that she said that I find very interesting is that the thing is, people out in the provinces that not in Bangkok itself, in the capital, are actually have different ideas and is not the same as what people perceive them. So they are aware of the civil rights and such. So she said that this is one of the things that there needs to be more information about this. So they say that even though they are sticking to the academic side, but if there are any events or activities that the group can join, especially in the provinces, they will be willing to do so as well to make sure that they promote democracy and the three key points that they uphold.
So definitely we're going to hear more from
most
the AFDD
definitely.
side and more supporters supporting them, because you know what, there's a lot of people talking about the election date because the protesters said there would not be any election on February the 2nd as planned, and people said that was really illegal.
Exactly. So we're probably going to hear more about that for sure. All right, let's take a short break. We have a lot more political updates for you, so please stay tuned.